Please be advised there are occasional cuss words in these episodes, so now you know.
Yeah. So I think the only thing I have on my agenda, which I think is all you have on yours, is we'll just basically shoot the shit and hope that we'll stumble on something that will be worthy.
Yeah. Just find a little nugget of usable audio. Listenable audio.
The nugget of usableness.
Yes.
Episode 2, Nerdlimits, Dark Larping, and Listening. In this episode, your hosts Steve and Mal hurtle from point A to point B while exploring the limits to nerdism, the darker regions of LARPing, and the occasionally occurring social behavior known as listening. Strap in for the ride to Redacted.
It's a D&D item.
Yeah. That could be the title.
You reach into your bag of holding and pull out a nugget of usableness.
Yeah.
Which adds a +3 buff to perception checks or something.
Okay, you're already, which isn't hard, you're already ahead of me on T&D wisdom.
I am Polly and live in
Redacted.
So, even if you don't play D&D,
right.
You're adjacent to at least half of your social circle plays D&D.
Who are the D&D mavens of your acquaintance and circle?
Basically everybody except for my partner.
Okay. Now, immediately my interest gravitates towards your partner not being into D&D. Like that's immediately like, oh, that's interesting.
It's a red flag, but
well, not only that, but it's like that stands out. Everybody else is into it. So tell me about the non-into-itness of this person.
They haven't played it. I don't think they've had any interest in it. It's like they're nerdy, but like that's like really nerdy. Their nerdy is like they're really into X-Men.
Okay, all right.
And you know some other things too, but that's the nerdiest thing that they're like really into. And D&D, I think first of all they consider LARPing to be like really embarrassing.
Okay, well.
And so the fact that their partner is a cosplayer is like borderline pretty embarrassing to them. I mean, like
it's almost a deal breaker.
No, they're very supportive.
So this all makes me think of maybe the deep philosophical question for this ride. Something to do with, do we all have our nerd limit?
I think the answer
and
is
I want that to be one word.
Because I think
nerd limit.
TM. I think the answer is no, because some people really don't. Some people, have this supernatural ability to just do the things they enjoy without feeling any kind of shame or self-consciousness. And we should all strive to that. But I think what you're saying is my nerd limit is like the things I'm willing to do for nerddom, and lying on the ground and maybe getting my socks wet and camping out in the woods is a limit.
And being fake stabbed with a sword.
Yeah, I don't...
And eaten by a zombie.
Yeah, I don't want strangers to touch me. I don't want to camp. I don't know if that is, like, my nerd limit. Like, I would do it... I would try LARPing for sure. Like, it's not too nerdy for me. I already, do cosplay, and, like, those things I feel like are related.
Meanwhile...
Yeah.
Motorcyclist.
Yeah, that's good texture.
I was like, the limits of doing this while driving, I had the urge to like open the window and do a spot interview. Yo, my dude, LARPing. Into it? Not? Oh, okay, have a nice journey.
Yay or nay. Well, listen, I mean, motorcycle gangs are not adjacent to
LARPing?
Well,
I mean, there's
to cosplay.
probably, I'm guessing that motorcycle gangs, if you really got to know them, they're probably not monolithic. I mean, you mostly think of like, or maybe you don't, Hell's Angels, very, sort of violent and whatever.
Well, I know that there are...
Not known for niceness.
There are some like that. I mean, but as a queer person, my main association with motorcycle gangs is like gay guys.
Okay.
Because there's this leather culture.
Another thing that occurred to me while you were talking about this is a weird kind of resonance between post-World War II, possibly gay motorcycle people, when you said, they'd come from... So World War II, I'm now thinking of as being like a real-life thing that LARPing is a weird echo of. I mean,
it can be.
LARPing is people in, costumes enacting, death kind of things. And then, war, you have like uniforms and real death.
Well, more than that, I think that a lot of people's first association with LARPing is like Civil War reenactors.
Yeah, so that's an interesting thing. It gets transformed into a fun, weekend outing where you're reenacting something that was probably horrible.
I think that might be why people like fantasy things, because it maybe feels a little less, fucked up.
Well, yeah, I mean, and also it's like you don't really want to get your actual limbs hacked off.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Well, there was this news story like several years ago where it was like, Legend of Zelda?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like some cosplayer went up to like a Legend of Zelda, like Link cosplayer. They had a sword with them, and this person was like, oh, haha, like, fake sword, and like, rammed it through their own like body. And I think you have to have a lot of force behind it to get it through your body, but they stuck themselves pretty badly with it, and I think, got pretty badly hurt.
Oh God. Wait, they did that to themselves?
They were like, oh, it's a fake sword, so they were just like, eh.
And it wasn't fake?
It was not fake. And
okay. You only make that mistake once?
Yes. I mean, if you're lucky.
God. Yeah. Well, I think that would be past almost everybody's nerd limit right there.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things that people could get into that are more serious and dark, and they can come to feel like, oh my God, I can't believe, like cults and stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a totally different dynamic than what we're talking about. But
it is, and yet I think it's relevant and related.
It's related, but it's much darker.
It is.
Yeah, and also...
Fandom can have its dark side, though. Like, I mean, so I was into Teen Wolf. The sigh. I feel like I'm about to admit something sigh. That's what I'm talking about. So I was into Teen Wolf a lot when I was younger. It was a show. I never watched past a certain season, even when I've rewatched the show, just because it does get really, really dark. The show gets dark. I think they really get away from the teen part of Teen Wolf, and it gets, their problems are like way beyond like, like my body's going through changes because I'm a werewolf, but also the girl I want to ask out to the dance has been asked out by this other guy, and he's a douchebag. Because that was so wonderful about the early season. Some like real high school stuff.
Right.
So I recently at my job met one of the actors from that show.
Wow.
Crystal Reed. She asked me a question. I was like helping her out, and then I like looked at her because the moment I looked at her, I was like, "Damn, that looks like Crystal Reed." And so she was like walking away from me after I had helped her, and I was like, "Hey, are you Crystal Reed?" And she turned around. She was like, "Yes." I was like, cool, I'm a fan. And I didn't say anything else because I don't know what else she's been in except for Teen Wolf. Like, first of all, I didn't want to like make her uncomfortable or anything. But also, I don't know what else she's been in apart from Teen Wolf, and she was not on the show after a few seasons because the fans bullied her so badly that she quit the show.
Oof.
And I don't know if she continued acting after that.
Now, harking back to something that came up earlier in this discussion of LARPing and your partner being like, being supportive, but obviously it's like, I would, wild horses could make me LARP.
Yes.
You
can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it LARP.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of things that make me feel uncomfortable, I don't know if I told you that I recently went to see a urologist.
Oh.
Did I tell you this?
No.
Yeah, okay. It's like, so I show up, and this is, I don't know, maybe TMI, but not really. Maybe there is no TMI in this recording.
Look at those dogs.
Adventure. What are they?
I don't know. They look yellow lab-like, but they have very long legs and curly tails.
A little Russian wolfhound influence. Like, yeah.
They are very tall. I don't think they can be all lab.
They look almost like we're imagining them.
Yeah.
But not quite. So, like, all right. If you have a prostate gland.
Cool.
Okay, let's start there. And when you get like past 60 or so, even maybe 50s, it sort of can degenerate in a way that you want to get it checked out because you can develop prostate cancer. It's just part of the aging. Okay. I went first to my GP, who's a Brazilian woman who's really good. She's just very human, a good listener. And she gave me the referral because I needed it to go to a urologist. I go to the urologist. I show up, and he says, okay, why are you here? What are you... And I said, well, I guess the quick version is you could call this prostate anxiety. And his reaction is, what is that? I never heard of that. I don't know what that means. And like afterward, it was a very brief meeting. Afterward, I was replaying it to myself, and I was like, but you know what come on, you should know what that, it's not that hard, just take a guess. I mean, don't just give me, no, what is that? A, and B, all right, so he does, I mean, this, if we're ever going to get to TMI, so there's, the exam is a digital, all right,
yes.
Fine. So he puts on the glove and does his thing, and then hands me a tissue, because they put a lubrication on the glove, and I wipe. You let me know when we get to TMI. Anyway, so I pull up my pants, and I'm like zipping up my zipper, and I'm buckling the buckle. So the pants are almost completely on, and he waltzes out the door and leaves it open, and the nurse's station is like right there. And there's like 4 or 5 nurses, and I'm still putting my pants on. And I just felt like between that and other elements of the interaction, it was like, what was that? I've never had that happen. It was like he was done, and so I didn't exist anymore, apparently. And I'm there like pulling my pants up in front of a crowd. And it was like, seriously?
Careful.
Yeah, I see. We see each other. Right. Speaking of noticing, how ironic. Yeah, just the way I hit those people. That's what he did to me. Yeah, so between that and him being, real... Now, I get it. I know in the practice of medicine in the last, 20 years, with insurance and everything, there's been a development where your garden variety, typical doctor type, they have some financial pressure that they can't spend more time. They have to just keep you moving through quickly. But I'm probably not going to use them again because I just feel like I want to feel that the person on the other end of this relationship, however fleeting, regards me as a human being. I don't know. Have you had that kind of interaction with doctors? Where
I have a little bit, but it just makes me think about what Jad Abumrad's father said in a radio lab, because he's a doctor.
Right.
About like
I probably heard
how, when you go to the doctor, people like walk into that office because and they feel they're like upset, like they feel sick, or they feel pain or just like anxiety, and what they need is like to be comforted. And he's like, even if you don't know what you can do for them yet, part of your job is to like make sure that they feel better. And he's like, I have this woman
I love
who
this
like
guy already. I mean, I try to do that with clients, and sometimes it's difficult because sometimes they are fucking annoying. On the other side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, until you know that, and even if you do, I mean, it's like, there's a lot of anxiety out there. You want to try to, at least if you listen to them, and sometimes it's hard to listen. Not necessarily even because of what the person is saying or communicating. But sometimes because of the noise in one's own head.
Yeah, there's something that people say, like, do you listen or do you wait to talk?
There's a theme.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we did it.
Should we develop some kind of a sign-off?
I think we should. Feel free.
I think last time I said so long and thanks for all the fish, which is from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Right, okay. I don't know. You could either do that or do a variation.
Should I do like a soft like radio voice? Like, this is Malka Leora coming at you live. Drive safe out there, everybody.
Welcome to Night Vale.
Yeah, welcome to Night Vale.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to stop recording.